everyone just freelancing on whatever weights they think feel good. And the country, it seems like we got to just pick the 14 weights and just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I don't know. It is.
You don't like it, Christian. You don't like it.
No. Well, this week it's these 14 weights. Next week it's these 14 weights. And I don't know. The sport, it's hard enough to follow high school wrestling.
States' rights,
Now
CP.
I'm all for states' rights. But yeah, it's a fair counterpoint. But I just think it's hard enough to follow these sports and this sport in particular. And yeah, let's get on the same page. It's just sort of a strange thing.
Well, it's going to make for really challenging rankings decisions afterwards too, right? I mean, think of it like these brackets where you have guys coming from two different weights, and neither of them weighed in exactly like at the weight. They're right in the middle. You know, what do you do with a 160 pounder who goes 157 versus a 160 pounder who goes 165 versus a 170 pounder who goes 165? Like, it's going to be kind of tricky.
Yeah, definitely tricky. I guess you got to figure out what happens afterwards, where they wrestle to figure out that. But 190 is the toughest weight. Get into that a little bit.
All right, so we got
the heavy hitters.
We got two number ones here. We got Jack Waymeyer, who's number one at 182. Dylan Feshbach, who's number one at 195. On top of that, you got Ryland Rogers, who's your 2 seed. Seth Shoemate's your 3 seed. Those guys are incredible. Then Hayden Walters, Drew Correa. All those guys are top 10 in their weight classes. And so I'm super curious to see how this one goes. Fishback got the win over Gavin Nelson, who's number 1. He won Fargo this summer. Ryland Rogers, people know he's a Michigan commit. He is super technical. Yeah. It looks like a guy as close to watching a chess match as it can with Rogers. He's just so tactical, making these decisions. Shoemate, big, giant, strong guy. He's won this tournament before as a sophomore.
Right.
And now going to try to do it again as a senior. Then you got Waymeyer.
So that's going to be a quarter, 1 versus 1, or semi, I mean?
Yeah. Looking like a semi.
Why? What went into the seeding logic there?
I think seeding-wise, they probably – well, I kind of get it in some ways because I think 95, which is where the top 3 seeds are coming from, has been a deeper weight class from like postseason last year through now. So I think that's probably what it is. I also think that – I don't know. There is a logic that says until somebody proves it at the new weight, they don't get the seed. I don't necessarily subscribe to that logic, but I understand that it exists, and so that probably some of that is going on as well here. That these guys are 195 pounders, the 82 pounders kind of coming up. So I think there's probably some of that at play in the seeding.
Hold on, isn't this one of those tournaments? You can correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this one of those tournaments which at Ironman they have the right to, but there's some high school tournaments which factor in how people did at their specific tournament more than almost anything else. Is this one of those?
I don't know for sure if that comes into play, but like you said, if it had, it could. I think if it does come into play, it probably did less this year than in the past because we didn't get this tournament last year.
Got it. Sure.
So, I know it. I'm thinking. I know in the past that did hold weight. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the Ironman seeding criteria, but I think it was that. I remember one year when like Micah Jordan was like. Got a really bad seed, and he was, he ended up winning the tournament, but he didn't have a strong seed, and he had like Chisco early or something like that, who was a lot of people's pick. Yeah. So I think that can happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you look at a few weights you guys have is like you have 144. You're ranked number 6 is the 7 seed, and then you're ranked number 13 is all the way down to 12 below a bunch of non-seeded guys.
Yep. Yeah, and that's another case of somebody coming up. So you're talking about 144. 144, there are actually 2 guys that are ranked number 6 because there's a 38-pounder and a 45-pounder. So, yeah, Jack Crook, he's coming up. But I think one of the things, too, that happens seeding-wise is, like, when you're trying to evaluate all these kids, one of the quicker ways to do it is look at tournament placings, not just at Ironman, but maybe like Fargo, Super 32. Jack Crook has some really good head-to-head wins in the last year and a half, but hasn't done as well at the big tournaments as some of these other guys have. So, so I get that too. But yeah, I mean, 195 it's a matchup between. Well, there are a bunch of matchups here that I think are really cool. The 6 seed Drew Correa is a guy that maybe a lot of people aren't aware of yet because he's just a freshman. It's a kid at Wyoming Sem who, he didn't place at Fargo. Was won 4 or 5 matches, didn't place, but he's improving so rapidly. He was 4th at Super 32, had some really big wins, And last week was actually in a tournament with Jack Waymeyer. They were going to meet in the finals, but Malvern Prep, they did kind of the thing with a couple guys that you see happen with college guys, where they wrestle a couple matches and then pull out of the tournament. Waymeyer and Correa were going to meet in the finals, but Waymeyer injury defaulted, so we didn't get to see that match. But Correa, like, this kid is coming on strong. If he plays sixth, right where he's seated, that would still be fine and acceptable, but something tells me he may be ready to knock off one of these guys that's ahead of him.
So he's a freshman ranked number 8 at 190.
Yep.
Or what,
182.
182.
Yep.
That's pretty rare.
Pretty rare.
For a freshman, especially this is early in his freshman year. It's not even the new year.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a couple top 10 wins at Super 32 that launched him way up. And so, yeah, that kid, pay attention to him.
That'll do the trick. What's the team race looking like here?
So team race is going to be, the three teams you would probably expect are going to be Blair Academy, Wyoming Sem, Malvern Prep. I think Malvern and Sem are the two teams that are probably the front runners. Each of those teams is going to be missing a couple starters. The starters that Wyoming Sem are missing would have had probably a bigger impact than the starters that Malvern is missing. They're missing Meyer Shapiro, who would have been the 1 seed at 144, and they're also missing Joe Seeley, who probably would have been like a 2 or a 3 seed at 150. So missing those two guys definitely doesn't help. So Malvern's missing. I can't remember, a couple guys maybe. I think Reed Fulmer and Duncan Christensen, who would have been like probably 8, 9, 10 seated somewhere in there. So I think Malvern is probably the front runner. That's the team that I would expect to win. But yeah, we'll see for sure.
Best potential matchup, one you're most excited about outside of 190.
So at 175, there's a matchup we would have seen at Who's Number One in the 4-man. We didn't see it there. It could be a final. James Rowley, Gabe Arnold. We saw this match in February at a tournament called Rumble Arizona in Arizona. That in that matchup, Gabe Arnold got 3 takedowns to none. He won it like 7-3 or 7-4. They haven't wrestled since then, but both were at cadet trials, and Rowley won the whole thing. Then Rowley went on to be a cadet world finalist. He was a world silver medalist. Arnold was 7th in that bracket. He lost to Ryder Rogotsky a couple times, and so Rowley moved ahead of him in the rankings at that point. But head to head, it's been Arnold. But they've, I think, both made a lot of improvements since February. So that's a match we would have seen at Who's Number One. Didn't get it. Rowley was hurt. Now that's on tap for a potential final, and I think it's fairly likely to happen.
Awesome. And PJ Duke, get another look at him. Is he a pretty big favorite here?
I think he's a big favorite. The big question for Duke is he's up from 126, where he was just 5 weeks ago. Now he's at 138. So Dang. How much of a difference does that make? Can he adjust? But I think he's a pretty big favorite here. Duke was number 1 at 126. He's number 4 at 138 because that's a weight class that has Jesse Mendez, has Casey Swiderski. So it's a tougher weight class nationally. But I still think Duke is, I think he's probably the favorite here. If he wins this tournament convincingly, then it's like, man, what do we got to do to make a match with Duke and Swiderski or Duke and Mendez happen? I would love to see those matches. If he looks as good here as I think he probably will.
One match I'm looking forward to, 57 Ferrari and Ryder, could be a lot of fun. PJ Duke obviously on the gains a clock. Ferrari.
That only makes sense. It's perfect.
Dude, that match, yeah, JD, I'm super interested in that match at 157. I hope we see it. Angelo Ferrari and Zach Ryder are 2 super sophomores, 2 guys that are making a big impact on the national level. Both guys are top 10 in the country. And Ryder kind of announced himself during his freshman year. He's a big, strong freshman and was getting a lot of really high-level wins. Ferrari last year was kind of, in and out of the rankings. When he was in, it was around 18 to 20. Then he would take a loss and fall out. But at Super 32, he seemed like he had really made a giant improvement. He was 3rd place there. The one loss he had was an ultimate ride-out match to Jonathan Lay, and he got that match back, and then a whole bunch of other really excellent wins. And so that now the question is, like, was that the right tournament at the right time for Ferrari, or are we going to keep seeing him up and to the right? I think we'll find out to a certain extent this weekend. And those 2 guys, they are both very solid positionally, really hard to score on. probably looking like a one takedown match, and one that could set up a rivalry for years to come. So very curious about that one.
Any thoughts if Zan Fugit could go with Mark Anthony McGowan?
So McGowan,
We haven't seen him in a while.
we haven't seen him in a while, and we really haven't seen him on a national level at 120. The last big national level tournament he competed in was cadet trials, and that was at however many kilos,
Around 113, I think.
Yeah, around 113. He was going to wrestle at Who's Number One against Nate Jezeroga. That was going to be a rematch. He was injured, so we really haven't seen him at 120, and that's the question for me. The matchup that I actually think, so Zan Fugit's super good. I think he's a very hard hand fighter. That could be an interesting match. But the one I kind of think we may end up seeing in the finals could be Ben Davino. He's at the 6th seed.
Oh, yeah.
I think Davino, so it would be a Davino-Campbell quarterfinal. That's a really competitive match. Not sure who comes out there. Kind of wouldn't surprise me if it was Davino, and then Davino-Fugit semi is also really interesting, or Campbell-Fugit. But Davino is interesting to me because he's a guy that seeks those big matches. He was up 4-0 on Jezeroga in the quarterfinals at Super 32. Came out guns blazing, got the takedown, got a tilt at the end of the first, plus the complete first period ride out. And so the guy just he's motivated by these big matches. And so I don't know. It's he would have to pull off a couple upsets on the way to McGowan. But if we see that match, I think he may be the guy in the field that has the best chance of beating McGowan.
Got it.
But the other thing too about McGowan's path, he's got Cale Lauritsen in the semis if everything goes to seed, and Lauritsen's a guy with a ton of international style success, Greco freestyle guy, so he can make life really miserable on people. Super hard hand fighter, can push guys around the mat, and big physical guy. So Lauritsen he's no slouch as well. So I think that semi could be really competitive with McGowan if it happens.
You can't forget about Kyle Snyder. He's coming from Dagestan.
I saw that.
So funny. That guy probably had no idea.
And same weight class.
They named him Kyle. I'm it's a great name, Kyle, And then, oh, wait, he's the best wrestler of a generation, and he's around your size.
How old would Kyle Snyder have been when this Kyle Snyder was born? There's no way, right?
No way they knew him.
They would have had to. They would have had to follow his Pee Wee career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they spelled Snyder wrong. So
they did smell it.
Clearly.
Yeah, that is
botched their homework.
Big mistake.
So Ironman, exciting. Anything else?
126 is a weight class I think people are going to be super interested in. 4, 5, 6 in the country are the top 3 seeds: Cannon Webster, Vincent Robinson, Sergio Lemley. All Illinois guys.
Ooh.
All clashes of styles. Webster and Robinson met twice at Super 32, and it was a tale of 2 matches. Webster won both, but the third place match was kind of high scoring. Guys were letting it fly. Their match in the quarters was really tight and competitive, but Webster got the better of that one, and then Robinson beat Lemley. But I think any one of those 3 guys absolutely capable of winning it. And also Gabe Wisenhunt from Crescent Valley. That's a super strong program out of Oregon. Wisenhunt had a little bit of a down performance at Super 32 and then was actually hurt by the end of it. But he's a guy that has been top 5, and so if he pulled in and won this whole thing and launched himself back into the top 5 in the country, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. So that weight class I think is one that people are going to want to circle.
So Friday and Saturday, Ironman live on Flow. Make sure you're tuning in. JD's going to be there. John Kozak. Who else is going?
Andy Hamilton.
Yeah. Big Andy.
There is an Ironman match that I'm looking for out there. If anyone has footage from it, it's from a very long time ago. It's a one Kyle Brackey versus Tony Ramos. I'm looking for the footage.
You can find Julius Brackey. I don't think we have that one. I don't think that exists.
That's why I'm crowdsourcing. Maybe someone was in the stands.
Why you want
the background of another
match?
They're trying to film this match.
This is from my own personal library.
Is this your own? He has his own personal library. Okay.
Wow.
Ben, I have an Ironman related question for you.
Let's do it.
All right, so we've got a Missouri commit in the mix, Ryan Boersma. The man is
the big man,
gigantic.
I'm more of him.
He's very elite. You know him. You've talked about him before. We could see a final with Boersma and Feldman, and Nick Feldman, he's number 1 in the country, number 1 pound for pound. But he hasn't wrestled an elite high school guy that's like the full size. How do you see that match going? You get Boersma any shot there?
Not really.
No way.
Boersma struggled with Ben Kaczynski, one of our guys' movement. I think the first time Ben wrestled him at, I don't know, it was I know the match. I was coaching the match. It was in the Dell's Dome. Ben got out to a lead, and I think he kept going underneath him, and I think he underestimated how big this dude was. But the second time he wrestled him, he was able to he whooped. I think it was 10-0 or something to that effect. And so I kind of see Feldman doing something because Feldman's probably better than Kaczynski because his movement is so strong. So yeah, something like that.
I feel like Feldman's whole game is around that. It's like I'm more athletic than you. I work angles. I know how to finish. Yeah. And we watch him beat NCAA qualifiers. And the pit heavies, big, full grown D1 guys. I don't think there's anyone that can touch him other than Christian Carroll at high school.
If I was coaching Boersma, this weekend's gonna be tough, right? You can't make that many adjustments. But over the course of time, obviously, we've seen now a lot of smaller heavyweights have success. And if you're a gigantic person like he is, you need to figure out how to use your size to your as much of an advantage as possible.
Yeah, Feldman. I mean, man, we saw that with Zachary Knight and Ward. He's so good at once he gets another shot, getting that head to a knee, and it's just like the weight becomes so much less of a factor.
Yes,
crazy.
100%.
Yeah, Feldman got to be one of the bigger favorites here of the weight class.
I think so. Kind of crazy to see Colby Franklin. Tyler had that graphic up there. Colby Franklin up at heavyweight for this one. He's a 195 pounder, but that lineup, Wyoming Sem, he just that's where they needed him this weekend. So kind of wild.
Yeah, that is sort of surprising.
Because Jack Dara's at 215, and
then Jude Correa at 190.
They've done such a ridiculous job recruiting from all over the place at Wyoming Sem. I mean, literally, how many states do you think they have represented in their starting lineup?
Great. I mean, it's a good question. Cooper Hilton's from Tennessee. Lilidal's from Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah, let's see.
Correa's Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
God,
Gabe Arnold's Georgia.
Yep.
So lots.
Yeah, they're from all over. Mm-hmm. They got some PA in there as well. Well, they're located, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay, well, looking forward to that as always. Great tournament, always fun to watch.
It's kind of center stage this weekend, right? It's the biggest thing in wrestling.
I would agree.
Yeah, I saw.
Bedlam is interesting, but not quite as interesting as Ironman. So yeah, looking forward to it. Also, we're going to pit the Ohio State duel
that is correct
at the gas station. So that'll be exciting.
The artist formerly known as the gas station.
The artist formerly known as the gas station.
Also, either tomorrow or maybe late tonight. I'm not exactly sure on the time. Naifanov and Yazdani are going to wrestle.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? The Iranian Wrestling League.
Wow. Were they YouTubing that or what?
Probably.
Just making money on the gambling?
Well, it's not Walnut. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
I also think
it's a duel, and their teams made the finals.
It's also a capital crime in Iran to vote against or to bet against Yazdani.
Yes, that will impact the gambling for sure. All right, do you want to get into Bedlam pick'ems?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Oklahoma State. That's what Bedlam is. If you don't know, now you know.
If you didn't know.
So
before we get into it, Bedlam does it 2 times a year.
They love it
for wrestling. Do y'all like the 2 times a year?
No.
I don't either.
It's not as special.
I agree.
It seems unnecessary, especially because they're in the same conference and they, their red shirts hit at open tournaments and all that stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys wrestle 2 times a year because 2 times in the duel and then at conference.
Yeah, and then they can hit it NCAAs as well, and any other tournaments where there's overlap.
I saw people asking for Iowa State to be 2 times a year, but I don't like it.
No.
It makes it more of an event when it's just 1 time a year.
Yes, I agree.
I would not change that. So, JD went through and made the lines. We'll see if he did a good job or not. Starting at 125, Trevor Master Giovanni, number 7, versus number 19, Joey Prada. And JD made this line Mastro -4.5.
How do you feel about that line, Christian?
Huh? What'd you say?
How do you feel about that line?
That's too high. It's too many.
That's
points.
what I felt like too.
It's too many
That's
points
what I felt
for
like.
Prada. Doesn't give it up easy. Mastro, I know he beat. I think. Let me get inside JD's head. Scary thought. I won't stay there long, but this guy beat Patrick McKee kind of soundly, so that puts you on a level.
He beat him by 4.
But here's the thing with Patrick McKee is like as great as he is,
All
he's a scoring
over the
machine,
place.
but he can give up points like crazy too. Like Prada's
Yes.
style, Prada could never score as many points as Pat McKee, but also a down like a not optimized Pat McKee is more likely to give up big points. So
Yes.
for that reason, I will take Prada and the points.
I will also take Prada and the points.
And he has not been bonused.
He did get beat by 5 by Brandon Courtney, but Brandon Courtney's probably better than Master.
Courtney's
J-Rock.
good.
Brandon Courtney's good. He got pinned by, so I'm looking like he was not bonused at all this year. He was not
He did get
bonused last year.
Barely.
Jack
Wrestling
Mueller's
last
got
year.
his number.
Mueller, but this is not Jack Mueller. But no one really else.
No,
Yeah,
nobody else.
I didn't set the line at bonus points.
Yeah, I know. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Not trying to put words in your mouth. Make sure you write these down so you don't have to re-listen to the show like last time, Jamaica.
That's all me how to do my
All right.
job.
I got 133. I got Madrigal with the points. Dayton just is not. He's not against Spencer.
Well, I'm
Lee.
going Mastro.
They don't know what the points are. So you got.
Oh,
They don't have access. We haven't shared the entire nation on our Google sheet yet. So we got to
good
tell
idea.
them that we've got Dayton fix, Anthony Madrigal, Dayton minus 10.5. What do you think about that one, Bray? Bray, wait, you weigh in too. You're not in our competition, but
okay, back at 125. Put me down for Prada, but 133. I mean, I think it's a question of whether Dayton gets it going on top. Madrigal has been solid this year, so I think, and I think didn't Madrigal keep this to a decision once or maybe not?
it was at Big 12s, and it was like
It's critical.
big.
He lost by fall, actually.
Well, not at Big 12s. That was at the duel.
6-1.
6-1 at Big 12s.
Madrigal keeps it close, closer than 10 and a
That's
half.
what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a fall would be the over.
Correct.
JD, who did you take? You got to put it on wax because I know what you'll do.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, you know.
What, I
You're
follow you?
a
No,
freaking
I
flip
think you'll-
flopper.
No, you're not gonna pick, and then then whatever happens during Bedlam, that'll be your pick.
I know about you.
We're up to you. You know what you're up to.
I'll go Dayton.
What'd you pick for 25?
Mastro.
Okay.
Well, he's
I
going
love
all
this.
Oklahoma State. He's going
I
Oklahoma
am
State
widening
shutout.
the gap here. I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm about to cut him. Purse's head. He's not even working up. Okay.
You rode him for 30 seconds, so he doesn't even get his escape
He didn't
point.
even get the escape. He is so dejected. He's got to make weight tomorrow too. Oh, he's hurting. I got Madrigal covering 10.5. I mean Dayton.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
Dayton beat Jake Gliva 18-7, so that's a barely cover there. He beat Desario 7-3, then he pinned Deion Pleasant. This could be it's potentially right in the range, but I'm going Madrigal. Obviously, I think Dayton will win this match. But in Madrigal, he had a great start to his year. He beat Ragusan, Bird, and one other good guy.
He did get whooped by Michael McGee, who he also got whooped by in the first duel last year. He lost by
McGee?
9 and 10 points, respectively.
McGee
That
can be
does
a
maybe
whooper.
help it.
You know, he is really good on top. Not that Dayton isn't, but it's a different sort of skill set, different sort of top game. So I'll take Madrigal to cover, but lose. He could get majored, but I don't know. Although then again, it's like last time they wrestled, it was such a big match. It was literally the team race was on the line, and if Dayton gets the bonus, Oklahoma State wins outright. If Madrigal holds him off, then they got the tie. I think it actually came down to AJ, but that was like looking back.
Yeah, it was one of
those things. So Dayton could be like, I'm getting this one back. And the one thing with Dayton is if he can really make his pace a thing too, the points could start to pile up at the end. I think Madrigal is clingy and difficult enough to like make a few attacks, like a scramble. He's really hard to like finish
100%.
on. So that's what I'm thinking in that one. So you got Dayton Dwayne?
I'm in Dayton Dwayne.
Wow. Good ride, cowboy. All right, this is a fun one here.
If it happens.
Wait, why?
Yeah. Why wouldn't Carter Young
Why?
wrestle? Oh, Demas.
Demas.
Yeah,
He
Demas.
just didn't wrestle. He hasn't wrestled this year.
That's a good point. I think the cut is a thing for him. So, Carter Young versus Dom Demas. JD says -4.5. This is a tough one.
I'm going Carter Young.
I am too. It's a lot of points.
Ooh.
Thing is, he could just get, like, first time feeling him, could just get bombed. But, like, Dom hasn't been doing that very much.
Carter Young's good at staying on the legs.
Yeah.
He
Dom
really
is a hard
shoots in and
guy.
stays under there.
Dom has people have a hard time getting to Dom's legs, though.
Yeah.
I think I would definitely describe that as one of his strengths.
I like this line because it's like the first time you wrestle Dom Demas has to be the worst. Like that guy just lunging at you like that.
Yeah.
But I think Carter Young. I mean, I think he can keep it close. So give me Carter Young.
There's upset potential here. First match of the year for Dom. Carter, and the thing is, Carter had the loss to Minnesota, which is probably the reason for this line. If he were undefeated at this point, I think it'd probably be a few points closer. So, yeah, I'll take Carter to cover this.
It is reminiscent of a other Oklahoma State Cowboy. At the time was 133, but wrestled 141. Came
bring
out
it
as a
up.
true freshman.
I don't want to think about it. What could have been? The GOAT Cade Brock. Dang it.
But Cade Brock did pin Cody Brewer in that match, so I'm taking Carter Young to cover.
That logically maps. Makes a lot of sense.
I gotta put on my calendar that I need to watch that match right after the show is over.
Yes.
is no way.
The call. It's all so good.
Oh, it's so sick. Caden G. Feller versus Mitch Moore. This is crazy. Moore -1.5. My thought here is just whoever gets points here, just take that person. It's kind of my thought.
Really? Because you think it's going to be that close?
No, it's not because I think it's going to be that close. It's because I have no idea what's going to happen in this match. No idea what Mitch Moore's going to do. I have no idea what Caden G. Feller's going to do. I find them both to be quite unpredictable.
Yes, that's true.
I think the line is fair, but I don't know. I mean, G with points. He's looked a little better of late after the tough one against Jaden.
Got whooped by Abbas.
He did.
Yeah. I am gonna go. I'm gonna go Mitch Moore. I think he's been a little better, and then G Feller, you can kind of see a whole bunch of things happening. So I'm gonna go Mitch Moore.
That's fair. I think seeing G beat Blockus decisively is pretty good evidence. Blockus is solid, wins decisively. I don't know. I think that's notable. Moore had a good CKLV, decent CKLV. He only lost to Ridge Lovett and Sammy Sasso, which is pretty good. He beat Legend Lamer. He had the injury default against Jaden Abbas, which I did not actually see that.
I need to go back. I'm gonna look at that right now. Actually,
Look at it. Look into it.
I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna see if I have the documents.
What are you thinking, JD?
Mitch Moore.
Wow, I'm really widening the gap here. What do you think, Bray?
I agree with JD. I think Mitch Moore.
Wow.
I think I don't know. Something tells me Mitch Moore may make it a pace thing in the end in the third period. I don't know. He gets that.
Hey,
Let's go, Mitch Moore.
He just
doesn't shoot.
He gets. I know, but he gets that.
He pushes.
He pushes and he gets like sometimes he gets to a tilt. Sometimes he gets to he'll. So I think he's got that near fall potential.
He could hit him with a chin and arm.
He could hit him with a chin and
arm.
He's got that in his back pocket. He does have the pinning potential. Yeah, all right. I feel great. I'm the only one riding with G. I'll take that.
I just like Mitch Moore because he
Oh
looks like
wow! Hold on,
old-timey
I got news.
weightlifting
I got
guy.
news for you guys. You want this news or you
I'll
want
have to
I
press
got the
it.
documents.
We got the
I
documents.
got the documents.
He unsealed them.
Mitch Moore was given the beat down to Jaden Abbas.
Really?
It was 12-3. He got takedown, 4 near fall, escape, stalling point. Abbas got a takedown, and then there was injury time at 27 seconds, and that was the match.
Wow. Well, I'm
Now,
undeterred.
how do you feel?
Yeah, you're locked in.
I'm undeterred. I'm locked in. I'm locked.
I just told you. No, Christian. Don't be so stubborn. I just told you Mitch Moore was beating Jaden Abbas like a rented mule.
He would not rent. He's more fiscally responsible than that. He would purchase a mule. And I don't know. It's like G is a guy with undulating performances. Up, down. You never know. So
big J journalist.
Yeah. I'm the smallest J possible. Right. I'm sticking with him. I'm even more emboldened.
Oh, it's a concussion. I don't know if he's gonna be wrestling, boys.
Who?
They shoot and they hit heads at the same time. Abbas's forehead hits Mitch Moore like right there. I don't know if this match is gonna happen.
Wow,
concussions aren't real.
So he was crushing him, and then
yeah, he was whooping him.
Fall. Wow.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, he might be in the protocol.
And he's down. He's down for a while. I mean, he's literally laying on the mat for 2 minutes or so.
Dang. I think it was his brother. I don't know if his brother had concussion problems or he had like a really
he's wobbly walking off a little bit.
That's not good. Okay, we probably won't see it. If Mitch Moore doesn't wrestle, I automatically win. Those are the rules.
No. We should get that because you made a stupid pick.
I would automatically. You just
JD,
called
give us
G feller stupid.
He called you stupid.
Yeah, well, I'm used to that. That's nothing new. All right, excuse me, 157.
Well, I don't like this one.
You don't like it. Wyatt Sheets versus Justin Thomas. He's
I have
got
no
it as
idea.
a pick 'em.
Might as well flip a coin on this one.
Flip a kern. What do you think, David?
This one's tough, but give me Justin Thomas. I think these guys. I don't know if they've gone back and forth or not, but Justin Thomas is going to get it done. Well, hold on. This is in
Norman.
Soonerland. Okay, yeah. Give me Justin Thomas.
Nah,
I'm taking Thomas.
I'm going Sheets. Even though he majored him and beat him in tiebreakers last year, and he's like 3-4 against him. All the mounting evidence, but not a great CKLV for Justin. He lost to Dejan Casto and Jacob Wright. Well, not great.
Well, he's 6 seed and he finishes 7, so right, not the end of the world.
Not the end of the world. No one's panicking, but I'll take Sheets.
Oh, Sheets.
I'm gonna go Sheets. I'm going Sheets.
Oh, after all that.
All right. Give me old Justin.
Old Justin. That's what we call him. We've been calling him that for a long time now. Old Justin. Trusty Justin. Okay.
He's pretty old.
I guess so. Okay, Travis Whitlake versus Joe Grello. JD thinks this is Whitlake minus 8.5.
That's a big line. I mean, Whitlake's the obvious winner here, but holy moly, that's a line.
8.5's a lot, but Whitlake's got decent top game. It was 8. So Grello lost 8-6 to Valencia, 8-2 to Matthew Malcolm, 4-0 to Phil Canigliaro.
Legend. Happy birthday, Matt Malcolm.
Wow. Yeah, happy birthday.
I mean, look, you're losing to Lopers. You're in danger here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Grello's gonna get bonused here. It's tough because 8.5. If this was 7.5 or 8, feel good. But like when the 8,
that's why.
When the 8 point is like that's the goal.
Then you can get it.
Yeah. Darn.
Wait.
That's good.
Hold on. Isn't Malcolm actually pretty good though?
Yeah, he wrestled at Iowa,
champ.
right?
He wrestled at Iowa for a year.
Who's national champ at Iowa? Just kidding.
No, he's national.
Someone
champ
say he would have been.
Yeah.
But wait, so
If
why
he wasn't on the greener
wasn't
pastures
he?
in Kearney, Nebraska?
Why wasn't he seated at the CKLV? Because Joe Grello had him first round.
I don't know why it wasn't seated.
Who knows?
Because he beat the 8 and the 9, right? I mean, so he beats Grello and then Ferranti in the first two
Didn't he
matches.
freaking blew it against Bubba Wilson, who he's beaten earlier in the year?
Double dang, Bubba.
I know. He got Bubba.
All
right, I'm going Grello. I'm going Grello.
I'm going Whitlake to cover.
I think it's gonna be like a 5 to 8 point win for Whitlake.
Okay. We're getting a lot of different answers here. I like it. 'Cause mine will end up being right.
All right, I'm going plot by fall.
Wait, hold on. He's got a pick.
That's right.
Okay. Yep. Oh.
Give me Whitlake.
Yeah.
W is going to have these boys whipped into shape, ready to go.
Oh, they'll be ready.
Yeah, I think this
He
one
just
gets
got a
away
bunch
from
of
Grillo.
Omaha steaks, I saw, delivered to him literally during an interview
Wow.
that he was doing. So these boys are going to be fed on good old Heartland beef.
Oh
I think
my
Joe
gosh.
Grello will allow a 10-point defeat out of respect for John Smith.
I am salivating thinking about this one.
We love you, Shane.
I think this one gets away from Grillo. Give me Whitlake.
Yeah. He kind of gives him up. Ben loves it. All right, this one's crazy.
I love it.
Ooh,
Dustin
baby.
Plott, Ant-Man. Oh, my gosh. Ant-Man making a line for Ant-Man is nuts.
These guys have split in the past.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe Plott's shoulder may have been split as well.
That's
in
true.
those situations. So far, Shoulder Watch 2021
all good.
looks a little better. It's not coming out. He hasn't had to shove it back into place like Troy Nickerson. So that's a good sign. I think Plott runs it up on him. 4.5. I think this can flirt with a major. I'm trying to remember. Mantanona did not have a great Vegas, I don't think.
He
I'm
lost
going
to, he went 1-2. Lost to Ninehouse and Urias from CSU Bakersfield.
Okay, that's not great.
That's not a good loss.
That ain't good. So
Like Ant-Man does this though sometimes.
yeah. So I'm going. If he loses, all right. So basically, if he loses, you got to figure he's losing big on the big side.
Yeah.
If he wins, he's
Yeah.
going to win by like pin or something crazy. I think
Yes,
I think
100%.
it's unlikely that Plott would win by 1 to 4 points. So
I totally agree.
if he's to win, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, yeah, but the other thing that's crazy about Ant-Man is like Plott could be up by 10, and then Ant-Man could get 6 and
Or
lose by
vice
4.
versa,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
He's up
No,
six
by
early.
that point he's too tired to get 6.
I don't know.
He's got to get the 6 early.
He loves being down by
Yeah.
like 10 or 11 points, and then
He
put
loses
them on
to
his back.
sleep and then just like reaches back and
I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like he gets up huge, and then it's like, can he
Yes,
hang
that's
on
what
with
I
his
feel
12-point lead?
Sometimes that
Yeah.
does happen, but there are also those matches for Ant-Man where like he looks like he's just getting killed, and then all of a sudden he pins somebody. But I think I'm going Plott here because part of the thing is like to put people in danger, Ant-Man has to
Put
take
himself in
risks,
danger.
and then he's going to give up points, and so that's just how it goes.
he has to spend money to make money.
He's a classic spend it to make it.
Yep. It's like Sion at the craps table.
Yeah, big spender. Oh my gosh. I never played craps, but I watched. It's horrifying. The money went so fast for so many of my
No.
friends. Oh yeah.
That you
Oh, yeah.
went on
They
like
lost
the
it
worst
all.
night.
They were homeless.
That was a terrible night of craps that you watched.
It was bad.
You guys might as well
JD,
be
you
talking
lost
about
all your
Ant-Man
money?
style right now.
Yeah.
Well, I got it all back though when CP wasn't watching.
Really?
Yeah, Ollie got hot last night.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Big Ollie did. Poor Spay.
Ollie was there too.
Spay and
Ollie
Sion.
never stopped in to see our show either. What the hell?
Yeah,
Ollie?
big hater. I don't know. What else can you say? Ollie hates you, and maybe us. Who's to say? Till he comes back and shows himself, we have to assume Ollie hates us. It's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 184 pounds. When is this duel, by the way?
well,
I
I
want to
never
watch.
gave my pick.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I love you, Ant-Man, but I am going Plott.
This is bulletin board material. This is what Ant-Man needs.
It's true.
Ant-Man is best when his back's against the wall. Nobody believes in him, and he's gonna do something crazy. So we are pro Ant-Man. Don't let these picks give any other impression here.
JD, before we get too far out of the Mantanona conversation, is there like a prop bet on the chances that the crowd demands Troy
Prop
Man at
bet.
165 instead of Joe Grella? What are we doing there? I would bet that they do, that the crowd demands Troy Man.
Troy Man.
If we were in the crowd, that's what it would be, I think.
We would have signs, body paint, all. It's all on the table. All right. 184. Dakota Gear versus Darian Roberts. And a big old line, the biggest line of
Big
this
line.
duel. Gear minus 11.5. That's a whole lot of points.
Because he's beaten him by 11 and 12 in the past.
Mathematically, I still am not following. So what do we do? What are we to do with this information? What are you going to do, Ben?
I feel like Roberts is slightly improved, and 11.5 points is a lot of points, is what I'm thinking. So I feel like I should go with Roberts, but it still makes me nervous. I'm gonna go with Roberts.
Yeah, so he's already got 14 matches on the year. A 3-2 loss to Caleb Romero, who's awesome, but not. That's a very Caleb Romero type of win.
Yep.
Get the takedown. No one's taking him down, kind of thing. He lost to Jonathan Lowe, 5-2. He lost to Britt Wilson, who's good, 8-1.
Yes.
I'm with you. I think Roberts. I know matchups matter, and clearly it hasn't gone his way, but it's just some pretty encouraging results on the whole. So I think he keeps it within 11.5. I mean, my gosh, he could lose by 11 and we win the bet. So that's pretty good.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
He's also not
And
done
I mean,
in the
so
past.
The other thing I think you guys have to factor in, which maybe I shouldn't be telling you this because I'm definitely gonna factor in the next match also, is that it's very likely by this point that the duel is well in hand, and the Oklahoma State guys don't feel the need to like go get an extra bonus point.
Could be.
That's likely.
Or maybe they hate
Very
the
likely.
Sooners and want to
Well, yeah,
run it
maybe
up
they
on
just
them.
want to run it up. I think there's a lot of teams that would.
Maybe somebody's in the stands talking trash and they want to shut them up.
That could be.
That's possible.
Yeah, I mean, man, at this point in the duel, I think it could be like 3 matches to 4 pretty easily, or for either
Let's
team,
see
right?
how
I
I
mean,
have it.
like Demas is going to be a favorite. Mitch Moore, G Feller is a toss up. Justin Thomas Sheets is a toss up. I think Prada's even got a shot. I think
do
at this
too.
point there's still a chance that the duel is
Intact.
is within
Especially
range.
with
So I
heavyweight,
feel
you never
like, man, yeah, I feel like Whitlake wins almost for sure. Gear is almost for sure. Fix and Mastro are really, really highly likely. They could obviously win at 41, 49, 57. So I feel like Oklahoma State's going to win like 7-3, 8-2, somewhere in there.
No way. I don't think so. I think it's 6-4.
Wow.
I think it's 6-4. Yeah, there's a
For
chance it's
Oklahoma
a 5.
State.
There's a chance it's 5-5, and that wouldn't be crazy to me.
5-5. No, you're crazy.
No, there's a
Totally
chance.
crazy.
Look,
Totally crazy.
If Prada gets the win over Mastro, are you shocked? Are you shocked at that result?
I'm surprised. I wouldn't say shocked. It's a little too extreme.
Yeah, I mean, I might be like a little surprised, but not that much. Prada's had some incredible results. And then if they win at 41, 49, 57, and heavyweight, like, I mean, I think those are probably likely.
Yeah, I think it's 7-3. So I would say, if you're telling me, I'm thinking OU wins 41, 49, maybe 57 in heavyweight.
Yeah. That's a 6-4 duel. We got a stew going.
Brother, you got Stu going. That's right. All right, 100 and did you pick? You picked, right?
Mm-hmm.
You picked Gears of War.
No. I said Roberts.
Okay,
Give me Roberts.
so you made this bogus line just so you could win it. I get. Everyone sees what you're doing, dude.
Literally put it right in between the past 2 results.
Totally, it's very transparent. 197. AJ Ferrari, number 1 versus number 8. Jake Woodley. Ferrari minus 4.5. Kind of like this line.
I like Woodley in this. Woodley's kind of hard to whoop. 4.5 points is quite a few points, and because the duel is not hanging in the balance, Ferrari's out there, flexing on people and being cute and whatnot. He's not gonna give him a serious beatdown.
He got 6-2'd by Schultz at Vegas, which is right in that range. I think we all think that Albert's a little better than him.
Well, last year he lost to Ferrari 8-4 and 3-2.
I think some of you may hate to hear this, but I think AJ's getting better.
That's probably true.
I think he looks really, really good.
He's got 100% bonus right on the season.
I think
He hasn't wrestled.
He
anyone
majored
good
the
yet.
GOAT next to Emmett.
he did.
That one didn't count, though.
Almost
It
teched
didn't
him.
count. He wasn't trying though.
That's
Have
true.
Did you factor that in the line making? I got Ferrari covering this. I think the guy loves the show. He's gonna want to make a statement.
He loves
And
winning Bedlam.
This guy gets more.
hates
jacked
the
up.
Sooners.
He hates the Sooners so much. He's flexed on every athletic team they have.
That's true.
He flexed on their
He
baseball.
has. He did a throat slit to the football team.
Yeah, he's cutting throats.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
don't let him get around the equestrian team. He's unstoppable. So I think AJ wins it here. He's super.
By
duper
how
good.
many? 5, 6, 7?
I think 6 to 8.
Okay.
Saying AJ by 5.
Okay, so you're taking the
I'm taking Ferrari.
Ferrari to cover.
Vroom vroom.
And you're taking Woodley, Ben, right?
Correct.
So you fell a little further behind.
And I'm going ice cold emoji, pistol emoji,
Flex.
Ferrari
flex emoji, car
Devil
emoji,
emoji,
smoke emoji, exclamation mark emoji,
DNA
Cowboy
emoji,
emoji,
Italian
cowboy
emoji,
emoji, Ferrari
Italian
gets it
flag
done.
emoji.
Italian emoji.
Italian flag, American flag,
Yes.
and give me Ferrari.
OSU gang for emoji. Okay. Now we come down to heavyweight. They should start at a different weight than 125 pounds. Because this is probably the least interesting
Maybe
match.
start at heavyweight.
Start at heavyweight. Yeah. That's what you should do.
Good idea.
I know Coach Smith's very traditional. They probably want to start at 25.
Well, then what do you think about this one off the scale?
Serber Heinzelman off the scale?
Yeah, how do we?
Yeah,
how's
how
that
do you
factor in?
I could look at what Josh Heinzelman weighed in at, because I took a picture of the weigh-in sheets from one day at Vegas. I think he'll be fine. But
Speaking of craps tables in Vegas,
dead.
I played all night with Mr. Heinzman one night. He's a good guy.
Did you get any intel? Did you get any intel about this match?
he weighed 254.4, so
Wow.
he had a
Who's bringing
severe
it
cut.
up?
He's way under. And I'm sure that Serber's not big either, so no real factor there. This is a pick'em. Well, how'd you decide on that? To me, Heinzelman is a sort of a decided favorite. Right?
I don't know. I mean, Serber got the start over Austin Harris.
Yeah.
That was kind of what I'm basing. Serber doesn't have a lot of results, but like that alone, I think, kind of shows you where he's at. Heinzman didn't have a great CKLV, so I'm going Serber.
He lost to.
Whoa.
Wow. He lost to Riley Smith. That's not
Whoa.
good. But he also lost to the GOAT, Castaigne Gary. He beat Del Garbino. So who beat Cassiope.
Yeah.
So
Top 10 in the country.
We'll be sticking with that for a while.
yes, that will be that will be a thing that's said. I got Heinzelman. No probs.
No probs. You're not even worried?
I'm not sweaty.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ben?
Man, I'm thinking about picking the upset with Serber. I just looked at his record last year. Like scoring a lot of points, getting some big dubs, and
That's what's up, man.
I'm
Serber
going
Nation.
Serber for the upset.
Okay. No turning back.
Give me Heinzelman.
No turning back.
Malik or Josh?
Well, now this is my my biggest match. I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah. All right. Now we just made it. You got to finish with heavyweight now. Okay. You also put on here Carson Karchler versus Jake Wenzel. Holy cow.
Yeah, well, that's that dude doesn't have as many great or highly ranked matchups, but that one's a lot of fun.
What a test that is for Karchler. And for Carson, seeing where he's at underneath against a super elite rider who has not looked great this year. Wenzel has not looked good. I feel like Carson will have enough of a takedown advantage to either not go under or go under and just not get turned, right? Just be a little more risk averse. I was really impressed with Carson, and I don't know what's up with Wenzel so far this year. I haven't checked his results like last week, but
I mean, he only took the one loss to
he
Maya,
got
right?
3-0
watched him
win,
against-
a 3-1
watching him against
win, a
Edinburgh,
2-1
I was
win.
like, it was like, what? That doesn't make sense.
The whole pit team seemed a little sluggish in the opening rounds. It could be, I don't know if it, an early season training thing for them as a team or what, but I didn't think they looked their best.
He lost to Brian Meyer. That's concerning. Yeah, I think I got Carson covering here. I forgot there was a line involved.
I got opposite. I got Karchler losing by either 1 or 2 points. He will not cover the 2.5 point spread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huge hater.
Wenzel's hard to
Master.
score points on. He's very difficult to score points on. So I think it's going to be like 4-2 or 4-3, somewhere in there.
I have Carson winning as well, but I'm kind of with you, Ben, that the line is making it tricky for me to pick, and I'll go Wenzel to cover, but Karchler to win.
Okay.
I think this is a match where Karchler gets a takedown in the first, and then probably late in the match, Wenzel's trying to get one, and Carson gets another one. So he covers, but just barely. I think the line's going to be in the balance late.
Good line, JD.
Great. Fantastic job, JD.
Great line.
Wow.
We are proud. All right, you did the Dan Hodge Trophy rankings. How are you handling that with you got some guys.
I think you got to take Spencer out till he wrestles a match.
He discussed that.
I did. We're only a quarter of the way through the season, and because of that, not yet, although probably like the next update, I think Spencer could come out if he doesn't wrestle, because then it will be enough to hurt him. But the way I looked at it, so these are kind of a little bit of their likelihood to win at the end of the season, and their current season dominance. Because if it was just off this season, like, I don't know, Gable might not be likely. Gable wouldn't be number one either. Then someone else would be up there. But I think Spencer, as a returning two-time Hodge Trophy winner, has earned enough slack to only wrestle, say, 3/4 of a season and still win.
So if he wrestles next week and then wrestles at Midlands, I don't think that's going to happen. Both those events. Then I think you're right to keep him in. I think if he misses both of those events,
then he's going to get dinged.
It's going to be tough for him. Well, it's going to be interesting because they kind of improvise. They get a little jazzy with their rules and how they give the trophy as of late.
Don't even get me fired up, Files.
Sorry,
last year was crap. Don't get me started.
We're not. I didn't even mention it. So
no, you mentioned it. You said a little jazzy.
A little jazzy. I mean, you're done like a little jazzy. Jazz.
We don't want to get jazzy. We don't want to get cute. Here's what we do. We want to have a rule set. And we want to pick a winner based on the rule set that we have. We don't want to make up new rule sets because we don't get the right votes in. That's what we don't want to do.
Okay, so we all know that Ben prefers funk over jazz, and that's why he's getting a little emotional here. So I think what's going to be interesting is, let's say Spencer. Here's the hypothetical. Spencer wrestles Penn State, Oklahoma State, Big Ten's, NCAAs.
You can't give him the Hodge for that, bro.
Undefeated and
Pen.
the best dominant score. You can't. Say no.
No, that's 10 matches.
Depends on what the next few guys' dominant score looks like, how many pins they have, things like that. If
he's a 4-timer, okay, here's how you can do it. You can do it very easily. If he's a 4-timer, he's going to have the best career accomplishments. If he does it with 2 torn ACLs, that's you can say what you want. That is like amplifies the heart factor,
which is a criteria.
Knees amplify the heart. That's like
there you go. Movie. Wow, put that on a shirt. Ironside. That's
are Spencer's knees even hurt, or is he just doing this to win another Hodge?
Yeah. He has no ACLs. It's just a.
I just think, listen, man, if a person's wrestling 25 to 30% of the season, to consider them for an award like this is, and we all know, given he's healthy, which he's not, he's probably the best guy and he's the best bonuser. But if you're going to have a guy who's going to wrestle 30% of the season, to give him a season-long award, because you know that's probably actually the case if he was healthy, it's just not the right thing to do.
Here's my prediction. If he does that exact season I described, he wins the Hodge again.
I'm not saying they won't, because we know how Win Magazine feels.
Oklahoma State, Penn State, Big Tens, NCAAs. He wrestles all those. He can't if he only does the qualifier.
And 2 regular season events.
Okay, let me tell you that. Let's do this, Christian. He does that, and he gets non-bonus in 3 matches: the Big Ten finals against Nick Soriano, we'll just say NCAA semifinals, and then the NCAA finals against Nick Soriano again. Those are both really competitive matches. So out of his 10 matches that he gets, 3 of them are non-bonus. Mm-hmm. Then what do you do?
Man.
Then it really depends on what
Win Magazine will probably still give it to him. Well, Gable's not going to wrestle a full season either. I mean, the notion that Gable's going to get 30 matches is...
So the question becomes, who's going to go undefeated this year? That's kind of a great starting point. Who do we think 33 is going to have an undefeated person?
If someone like Keegan can run the table at 65 and keep his bonus rate
that's
up,
what I'm saying.
He'll win over.
I don't know, man. Quote freshman. I don't know if he will.
He has the highest
Yeah,
bonus,
I don't know.
or he has the highest dominance score of anybody on this list right now, JD.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, Yanni's bonus is not where it needs to be. Obviously, Wick's a good bonuser. Deacon's a decent bonuser. Carr is. So I mean, it's a lot to be. How are these guys' seasons going to materialize? Starocki and Brooks. How are their seasons going to materialize? I think those are going to have a long way. But if you're telling me, so I just mentioned Keegan, Deacon, Wick, Carr, Brooks, Starocki, and I'm taking Yanni out because he's not been bonusing well. But let's put Yanni back in. That's 7 guys. If one or two of those 7 guys finish the season undefeated with a relatively high bonus rate, and they've wrestled the majority of the season, so we're saying, somewhere between 25 and 35 matches, and Gable and Spencer wrestle 10 to 15 matches, man. You want Gable and Spencer saying, hey, we're doing this to get the title, and we didn't care about the whole season, so you don't award them.
I wouldn't say they don't care about it. In Spencer's case, I think Gable is trying to do a couple of different things. All Spencer wants to do is win NCAAs. It's not that he doesn't care about the season. He's just not able.
So I said he's doing it for the title. He's going to win the title.
Well, okay, but you said he doesn't. It is not. I can't imagine Spencer is liking that he's not on the mat competing right now. And if
I didn't make that argument at all.
Well, you said he doesn't care about regular season.
Well, I mean, obviously there's other factors, right? If he was completely healthy, we'd have a different story. But
he's prioritizing NCAAs.
Correct.
I would say is a better
Correct.
way to phrase that.
And the Hodge Trophy is an award for the person who has the best season. And if you choose not to wrestle in the season, then you don't deserve to be eligible for the award. That's the argument I'm making.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, and of course, so much has to happen. It's all hypothetical till we get to the end of the line, which is when the season's over. But I think there's a chance for so many undefeated. I don't know if there is or not. Like, is Starachi going to go? Starachi's probably going to go undefeated, right?
Yeah, I gave you 7 really good possibilities there.
Yeah, and I don't even know if you said Gable, AJ. I mean, AJ.
So I didn't say AJ. I mean, AJ's his bonus. Well, his bonus is decent.
Well, he's at 100
100%.
right now.
It's not bad.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, and then I didn't say RBY or Dayton, who obviously one of them cannot be undefeated.
It seems like one of them will be, though. Seems like one of them
seems
will
likely,
be.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I don't know if either of them will have enough bonus to.
And it's like, I don't know, if I'm Spencer and I'm in the season and I don't get the Hodge, it's like, well, yeah, I probably shouldn't have got it. I didn't wrestle the season. Like, I understand.
He's already got 2.
He got 2.
I already got 2. I'm doing this for my team, so we have the best chance of winning another title. Because honestly, if it wasn't for the team, aspect, he might have taken a medical this year.
1,000% he would. 1,000%.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So he might have taken. Last March, he gets surgery. He takes the medical. He comes back in the next season and wrestles a full. Wait, does he still have a regular red shirt left?
He's got a
Yes.
regular. He's got a medical.
He was free through freshman year.
So without the team component, he doesn't really even wrestle this year. So, yeah, I mean, it's just. Yeah.
Spencer is Exhibit A. Why you don't? And Spencer is not a great example because he's such a phenom and always was. But like, it's why you wrestle guys when they're good to go, when they can go wrestle them. And not that they're going to probably take the year this year, but like, if it were different circumstances, he certainly would.
It's like Greg Sharper.
Yeah.
Putting a team on his back, though.
He really is. Yeah, the only reason he's going to wrestle is for the
team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So if he wins his 4th and Iowa wins a title, I don't think he's going to probably trip too much on not winning a 3rd Hodge.
Yeah, and it's fine. Like, you already got a couple. You're doing this for the team. You're not doing this for yourself at this point.
Yeah. The lore for him doing that again would probably outweigh the prestige of a Hodge, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I will say one guy who could maybe has an argument to be in at this point, but Colton Schultz has 5 pins.
Whoa.
Yeah, we got stuff going on in the office, but
that one's
he's
hard
undefeated
envisioning
with 5 pins,
him
but that will fall off. That's
top couple.
Yeah.
But yeah, being
It'll
on
not
the
be
list
sustained
for sure.
but
Yeah,
he
I
could
mean, yeah.
sneak in.
Maybe.
Colton Schultz would definitely win the Chalice Award for sure. I mean, we're talking best pinner. He's probably going to win it. I mean, maybe you have it. Keegan's probably gonna get a bunch of pins, and maybe there's a few other people, but Colton Schultz is likely gonna be on the very high end of that list.
Yeah, that's a lot of pins.
Forget this is kind of a pinning award. It's not just a number of pins. Is the second criteria.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for the Chalice Award.
Yeah.
The pinning award. Mizzou actually has a dude with 8 pins already. Wow. What is his damn name? He's a backup heavyweight. His name is, I saw it somewhere. Kolchev maybe.
Okay.
Kolchev for Hodge.
Yeah, he's on the short list now. Get him in the rankings.
No, for the Chalice Award, you knuckleheads.
No, I'm not ruling it out.
Even Kolchev, he has got 17 matches already. And he has 8 pins.
What a beast.
Boom.
Okay. Want to get to some questions? Hodge Talk is always fun. I
want to hear this Mo Braun try to argue with my heavyweight critique because
this man apparently left like a 10-minute series of voicemails.
Okay,
did we consolidate that?
No, we're out.
No, we did not. He left several.
How do you know which one to play?
Well, I just picked a couple. Some of them were too long to play.
Got it.
Why would he?
We're not going to sit here for 3 minutes.
I don't know.
But
are we going to listen to it?
Yeah, Tyler, if you want to pull them up there in yesterday's folder.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
Heavyweights.
Yep.
Heavyweights. Great movie. You seen that movie, Ben?
I do believe that was like 1993 maybe or somewhere around there.
I don't think it was that.
Is that the one I'm thinking about?
It's in the 90s.
I'm thinking
95. Okay.
95. I wasn't far off.
Yeah. Did you go to that
Ben
camp?
Stiller in that?
You dropped 30 pounds in like sixth grade.
Yeah.
You were the perfect heavyweights demographic. All right.
Let's listen to Mo.
Let's listen to Mo Braun.
This is Mo Braun calling back to finish my argument about body mass and heavyweights. You got guys wrestling 16 to 20% heavier than them. Does that matter? Absolutely. You guys have discussed the physics equation, E equals MC squared. Energy produced by an individual weighing 200 pounds greatly exceeds the energy produced by an individual weighing 220 or 240. Therefore, I pose that not only do heavyweights have to execute high-level techniques, I'll go a step further, because you could easily justify that heavyweights have to execute extraordinary high-level techniques. You got a dude coming at you that's 60 pounds heavier than you, and you're going to dump him, or you're going to pick his leg up for a single leg and take him down, or you're even going to throw him? Come on, man.
All right, cut Mo off.
That.
Cut Mo off. I have wrestled many a heavyweight in my day. Many a really good heavyweight. Mo's wrong. Mo doesn't know what he's talking about. The technique level at heavyweight.
It's math.
Yeah, can refute the science.
I get it. If you're trying to do the things that somebody's 145 and 133 is doing, you're not going to have a successful career at a heavyweight. I mean, if you look at Gable would be a relatively prototypical heavyweight. He is not 285, but he's relatively large, moves well, great heavy hands, great snap downs, great go behinds, good high crotch, right? A few other moves, but you don't see Gable out there doing 133 pound stuff. Simple.
I got a little problem with just Mo's basic take on physics.
You're anti-science.
He said force, he brought up force equals mass times acceleration, and he said because they're bigger, they have more force. But he forgot about the acceleration part. The speed at which the lighter weights travel is like much quicker, right? So that's why that equation matters. And also, it's force met with force. It's not just like they're not running a 40 or something.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, man.
If I go wrestle heavyweights, here I'm talking. Listen. I know I wrestled Mark Ellis, national champion. I wrestled with Don Bradley. I wrestled Levi Cooper. I wrestled with Trent Hilger. I've wrestled with a lot of very good heavyweights. the type of techniques that I try to do against them are not the type of techniques I try to do when I'm wrestling a 157 or 155.
Exactly, because you have to hit the extraordinary heavyweight techniques.
No, I have to
deep
hit
into
much
your bag of
simpler technique. No, way less deep. I have to stay in great position. I have to keep my elbows in.
So you're better.
Okay, I can keep a little higher stance.
positioning.
Because to David Bray's point, they're not going to get to my legs quite as quickly as a little guy would, so I can raise my stance up a little bit. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's Mo. I'm glad you know your physics equations, but you're just not right.
Well, Mo Braun, he's got a rebuttal for you. Tyler, can we play? Can we play this one?
Already? Is Mo on the horn? Is Mo Tyler?
Calling for Ben Askren's definition of high level acts or a level above that which is normal or average. Click. Hello, this is Mo Ron calling for Ben Askren. What's this about heavyweights have no high-level technique? Come on, man. Steve Marco, foot sweep, not high level. Come on, man. Terrell Blagnev, not high level. Come on, man.
He's right about
With
that.
high level, nah, he's just normal. Come on, man. Kyle Snyder, average, normal. Come on, man. Terry
All right.
McCoy, average. Come on, man.
All right.
Checkmate, Ben. Checkmate.
Oh God,
You have no rebuttal for that.
Check Mo.
That's
I
right.
got no rebuttal.
There's no rebuttal.
Wow.
Come on,
None.
man.
Wow.
Come on, man.
You just got owned on national TV.
You got moaned.
You got owned. Okay. We got an email from Randy. You got that handy? Handy Randy?
Well, he just emailed in asking who wants to know who will be on our Mount Rushmore after 2024. American
Ooh.
Mount Rushmore.
Ronald Reagan.
This is hard. I saw
Yeah.
this question. This is
Probably
really
Reagan.
hard.
No. American Freestyle Mount Rushmore.
It is Mount Rushmore season.
All right. Jordan John, Helen, I think all have to be on there.
Well, I mean, the hard part is what I mean. Listen, we don't. Here's another topic I need to bring up and you brought me Kyle Snyder. I'm mad at Kyle Snyder. I don't want to think that you and Sadulayev are friends. They call this breaking kayfabe in WWE, and Vince McMahon would fire people for doing this much.
All right. Fire Sadulayev.
We
I
don't
give you
need-
permission.
We don't need to know that you and Sadulayev are friends. Sadulayev seems like a perfectly nice guy. Don't be putting it on Instagram. Don't put it on Instagram.
No
I
way.
want to believe that you guys don't like each other. I want to be able to get into the matches, and if I think you're friends, I'm not going to be able to get into them as much.
There's also a difference between being cordial and literally
Dancing to Les
lesganking at,
Ginka,
at each other's houses.
The Lesginka is
Yes.
too far for me.
Yeah.
That's where you
Too far.
cross the
Too
line.
far.
You can't
Too
dance.
far.
You can't dance with the competition. That's rule
And
number
listen,
one
if
in
it's
sports.
true, if it's true, just let me lead my disbelief that you guys aren't actually friends. Do you guys know the Vince McMahon firing people story?
No.
We should really bring on Chael because I'm sure he would tell it significantly better than I would. But I guess, right? So the WWE guys, they're supposed to be enemies, but then, especially in the old days, they would drive from location to location together after the show every night.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember. I think it might be like the Iron Sheik and Jim Duggan or someone. They got pulled over and they got arrested, and then there was pictures of them together. And Vince McMahon got really mad that people saw them in public together and thought and realized that they were friendly. Because people. I know you hate this, Christian.
It's still real to me,
People
damn
it. It's real to me, damn it. That's it.
Man.
I don't want them to break kayfabe. I don't want to know that they're friends. I want to think that they hate each other.
Yes, and that's what makes
Yeah, I do
rivalries
that.
great.
Oh,
like you can
man.
say this is
Yes.
cool, and I mean it is cool and whatnot. But you know what's more fun as a spectator is Iowa State.
Yeah.
Like the Heat.
Yes.
You
Way
want
more
the Heat, and you can say whatever you want, but you can't deny that the Heat is more interesting.
Yeah.
Heat. We want the heat.
We love it.
Yeah.
Or maybe just be like, hey, yeah, at least let's hang out. But, does everything have to go on Instagram? Do all our dances have to go on Instagram?
Yeah, if Kyle-
Do all the daggers you give me have to go on Instagram?
If Kyle Snyder's going to fly to Sadulaya's village in a helicopter, he could at least throw a few water balloons out on the way. You know
Yeah,
what I
just
mean?
drop.
There we go.
That
Yes.
would get him. Yep.
Thank you.
That's a great idea. Wait.
All right, so sorry.
I don't even
Mount
remember what started
Rushmore.
that.
Well, I think we all felt passionate about that topic. We all agreed on it, which is great.
Great agreement.
Mount Rushmore. But I mean, by 2024, David Taylor is going to be a decent option, seeing what he does. Kyle Dake will be a pretty good option. Kyle Snyder will be a good option. And possibly Jaden Cox. I mean, what if he wins 22, 23? And then obviously he could wrestle. He was supposed to wrestle off Kyle this time, but he could wrestle off Kyle next time. So by that point, he could have 4 world titles and 7 world medals potentially.
Yeah, but I don't think if those guys run the table, do they pass Jordan or John?
No, those two are still on it.
Okay, so those two are on.
John will never get off because John was the trailblazer, right? And it took someone 30 years to do the same.
Christian, you brought up Helen, and I think Pale probably like, well, what about Adeline? If she wins an Olympic gold medal, then it's a different conversation. But that Olympic gold that's a part of it. You're not on Rushmore without that, right?
Yes.
No, you got to have the Olympic gold. She has 2 Olympic medals too.
And defeated a goat.
She beat a goat.
But yeah, but I think number 4. I mean, and so I think we could also just do a women's and a men's also. I think that would be much easier because there's just so many other factors that make it difficult. So we could do a women's and men's. So let's just do just the men's, and we can do women's separately. But you go John and Jordan, and now the last two spots there will absolutely be filled by some of the names I mentioned. There will be modern era guys. We are in a golden era of American freestyle wrestling, and there's going to be no one in the past that's going to have the credentials. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's going to be Kyle Snyder, Jaden Cox, Kyle Dake. I mean, at this point, maybe even Thomas Gilman might have 6 medals by that point, potentially, right? There's someone else. Did I forget David Taylor? I meant to say David Taylor.
Yeah, you have though earlier.
Okay, so yeah, I mean those guys will fill the last 2 spots.
Is the next guy in?
Likely, yes. So if you did it today, I think if you did it right now, Snyder would be for sure. And then your last one would likely be, would you go Dake, Taylor, or Cox? Which one of them?
I think Taylor / Dake are in the lead over Jaden because of last year. Maybe last
Olympic
year's
medal.
Too much in my mind, but the Olympic medal.
Yeah.
Not that Jaden doesn't have one.
He's got one.
The case for Jaden over Kyle is Jaden beat Kyle, and Jaden also has an Olympic bronze like Kyle. And they're both 2-time. Oh, no. Now Dake's a 3-timer.
3-time champ. Probably Dake then. I mean, does Mark Schultz have better credentials at this point? I mean, there's no way Mark Schultz stays ahead of all of those dudes. Mark Schultz or Bruce Baumgartner probably, I guess, maybe would be right now, but we know that's not going to be the case in 3 years. Bruce has got to be
on there.
Bruce has 2 Olympic golds and 13 medals. I mean,
So it's
but
you know who Mo wants? Bruce.
Come on, man. You're not going to put Bruce on there?
What about Terrell Belagnev? So I think with Bruce, it's got to be John, Jordan, Bruce, Kyle right now.
Kyle Dake, yeah. It could absolutely
change. I think
change.
Snyder.
Because they both have 3.
Dude, and he beat
and
a
Kyle's
goat.
got the Olympic
champion, 15, 16,
okay,
17.
Snyder, yeah.
Made more teams, more medals, more golds. Same amount of golds.
He's 3. They both have 3.
Both have 3, but he's got the Olympic.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And I think Baumgartner gets bumped off before we get to after 2024.
Potentially.
Well, there's going to be someone on this list. There's someone on the list that I gave you that's got 5 world titles by then, for sure.
Yeah. True. That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun.
How much of it is it a stretch to say that we may be watching the best ever 125 and 285 pound wrestlers in history up to this point? Talking about Spencer and Gable, obviously.
At Folk Style Wrestling? I think for sure.
At NCAA Wrestling.
Yeah, I think it's certain.
I think that's not that. Yeah, I think it's hard to argue.
It's tough to argue. They both have sort of losses that can get other people in the conversation. Like Gable losing to Cassar twice, Spencer's losses to Pitch and Rivera. enters other people, but what they've done at the NCAA,
So-
Spencer's never lost there, and
Yeah. So, and I guess, Christian, the other thing that I would be thinking about, well, it was when I hear that question, what I'm mentioning about is not like the best 4-year career, but like the pinnacle, right?
Yes.
So if we take their best version of them versus anyone else's, are we seeing the best? And I think in both cases, that's yeah.
best Spencer and best Gable, I think, beat all 25 and 185s
Yes.
in existence. So that's a fun one. Okay. Get to some more questions from friends. Jed Cox. Could a 106 Mark Bader score bonus on a 106 Shane Sparks at each of their 106
I think
pound
so.
peaks? Bader's getting that bonus. He's putting the pace
I
on
think
him.
so.
Shane's going to have
Yes.
eaten too many wheat thins.
Listen, I don't want to pick on Shane. Listen, I know Wisconsin history. I don't want to be too mean to Shane. But for I think it ended in 2001, maybe it was 2000. There was a only private school division called the WISAA, and they were not very good. And for example, in our conference, we had a guy who was a 4-time. So it was right. He did the 4-timer right as that division ended, and he would get beat up in conference, but he was a 4-time WISAA state champion because it was private school only.
So I guess no one.
That was
knows
where
Sparks
Shane
went.
wrestled.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So he went to, I think, Oshkosh, the private school in Oshkosh, wherever the hell that is.
Got it.
Yeah. I go
Yeah.
Mark Bader, baby.
I've never watched Shane wrestle, but I've seen Bader.
He was a state runner-up in the WISAA.
Bader was a couple-time Missouri state champion.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's got to be.
And
Bader's weighed in. He said without a doubt.
Shane
where's
Sparks.
Bader? Where?
Shane said no way.
Yeah.
Wait, where are they? Where are they? Is this on Facebook chat or where?
Twitter.
What chat are you guys on?
Twitter.
Twitter. Oh, I see. I got you.
Yeah. Tommy at Napier922. Does Soriano pose a threat at 25 for Lee? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course he does. Especially now with the injury. Do these WWE NIL deals hurt the U.S. freestyle success?
No.
Yes. Of course they do.
Why? Because
Oh,
they're
the
taking
NIL
one
deals.
person.
The NIL deals.
Yeah.
The WWE attacked American wrestling by Gable Stevenson.
Stop.
That is an attack.
Stop.
That is an
Listen,
attack.
Gable's doing what's best for Gable.
Gable would have done something else
wrestling.
anyways besides WWE.
He's
I
going
think.
on to make money.
If
Good for
WWE
him.
didn't
He would have done MMA. And then he'll go into acting or something. I don't know. But like,
acting, he's gonna be a
Acting?
freaking thespian.
Acting.
dude, he straight up wants to be like The Rock. He wants to like.
Well, yeah.
Who doesn't want to be like
Who
The
don't wanna
Rock,
be The Rock?
JD? For God's sakes.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be
Kyle
on
Davis
JD, are
doesn't
you
wanna be
telling
The
me
Rock.
you wouldn't be The Rock?
Taylor
if I
doesn't
could
wanna
make
be The
you
Rock.
David
wanna
Taylor.
go
Bull
in-
crap.
David
Bull
Taylor wants to
crap.
be The Rock.
Who doesn't want to be The Rock?
I've been The Rock. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
but Gable's actually like doing it. Like he wanted to, like, he wants to be that level of superstar. Not everyone wants to be that level of superstar. Kyle Snyder doesn't want to be The Rock. He wants to win Olympic gold medals.
That's true. But if WWE didn't exist and there was no fake wrestling, I think Gable would be around a little longer. I don't think the options would be right there. But good for Gable.
I think he would have gone into like MMA.
And I'm eliminating that as well. MMA doesn't exist anymore either. The only sport that
Nothing
exists
exists.
in my
Oh,
world is
basketball
just wrestling.
Gone. Soccer gone.
Forget
All
about
gone.
it. Acting gone. The world is just
No
wrestling.
more movies. We just wrestle. That's
we
like
did
my
get it-
world. All I do is wrestle.
Yes. That's why we haven't seen Ironman. The only Ironman we've seen is in the Walsh Jesuit gym. Yeah, people don't like people. We got a question about Snyder Live being buddies, but
Asked and answered.
I
We're
don't
gonna
like it.
asked and answered.
don't like it.
Asked and answered. Okay, fun show. Lots of picks. It's a good times. Any questions? Anything else you want to get to before we call it a weekend? Special schedule for next week, so you know. No show Tuesday. We're doing it Monday because we have the company offsite on Tuesday. It's a big party. We're going go-karting at Circuit of the Americas.
Go-karting, and I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
get invited. This is crap.
You can
At
go
the F1 track here too.
at the
Fly
Formula
the
1 track.
private jet. Well, how fast do they go?
Like
Hopefully like an F1 car.
hundreds. 100.
Really? If you're legit
No,
going
they don't
somewhere
go that
with the go-karts
fast.
go 100 miles an hour, I'm freaking coming. I will buy a plane ticket. If you're paying for my go-kart races, I will buy a ticket.
Come on, brother. You can go kart. Let's go. You won't miss a
I
practice.
gotta go 100 miles an hour.
Okay, I will say they
I
go
don't like
100.
missing practice. You're right.
I know you love it. I'm picking through the your Lex Friedman podcast. I'm just now watching it. I actually had some questions about it afterwards. I want to talk we'll talk about drilling and stuff. We'll talk about it next week.
You know, Brands went on Friedman too.
Brands, Danaher, all my heroes.
Before we go, Wrestling Lost some Legends this past week. JD Hawkins and Mark Ryland. Yeah, super sad, but there's some legends. They deserve some shout outs, and their legacy's going to live on.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that, JD. Rest in peace to Mark Ryland, JD Hawkins.
Great dudes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will see you Monday. Thanks.